proud to say I came up with this idea. So anyone can distribute it though, because that's what it's for. It's a good idea that can be distributed widely. And hopefully it is. Anywho, you all, this summer is unique. We have an Olympics. Yeah, we have an Olympics. Not many people are even talking about it. Generally when you have an Olympics, a lot of people start talking about it. We're in March. The Olympics is in July. I haven't heard anyone talk about the Olympics. I'm like, what's going on with that? Anyhow, we have an Olympics this summer. And one of the things we definitely need to do. Now listen up, you all. Nobody is going to dispute this except an idiot. And ironically enough, we have a lot of idiots nowadays. So there might be a lot of people that dispute this, but nonetheless, we have a lot of youth throughout the Americas, young people that are completely bored. And this summer, I feel like without some type of major intervention, it's going to go sideways, and it's not going to be pretty. Yeah, we got civil unrest in Haiti. You got the Venezuelan migrant crisis happening at the Texas border. You got shit happening in Canada, but they try to keep their shit under wraps, but it's not pretty there either. And the United States, like pretty much every day we have a bunch of mass shootings by young people. Now, we got the Olympics. It's all the way in Europe, okay? We've got a bunch of folks in the Americas, young people. I say we take those young people from all of the Americas and we send them to Paris for the summer. Yeah. They can go and watch the Olympics. Nice idea. Give the kids something nice to do for a change. Because I'm telling you all, the last couple of summers, and I'm being honest about this, the last couple of summers, the youth have had nothing to do. Yeah, you adults, you grown ass adults, you got all these young people throughout the Americas. Yeah, I'm talking about Peru, I'm talking about Florida, Texas, El Salvador, Haiti, I'm talking about Montreal, everywhere in the Americas. There's no entertainment put on for the youth in the summertime. Yeah. Back in the day, you would have events, concerts, movies in the parks. Now that doesn't exist anymore. And because that doesn't exist, young people don't have anything productive, fun, or meaningful to do in the summertime. And I mean this, there's nothing to do in the summertime if you're young. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Now, we're fortunate enough that we have an Olympics. So I say we send all the kids. There's an age range though. You're not going to send little babies to Paris, no. They're going to be young, but not too young. You send all the young kids in the Americas to Paris. That's something they'll never forget. Yeah, that's a good memory that they'll never forget. Yeah, it's a win-win. That way, no violence will ensue this summer. Because I'm telling you all, you got really one choice. You can send the youth to Paris, or it's going to be like a ski mask and handgun summer. Yeah, they're going to all be outside with ski masks and handguns. And nothing good comes of that. So there's really one good option. Send the youth to Paris. Now, this is going to be a long campaign by me. I'm going to outline just how I think it should be done. Because some folks will say, oh, this is too vague. Yeah, they can't say they don't have enough time because it's March. They're going to be seeing this in late March. They've got April, May, and June. And most of July. Yeah, so they've got enough time. And I don't want this to be too vague because we need sponsors. Who's going to sponsor all these youth to get to Paris? You know, it costs money. Now, I'm willing to sponsor some youth, but I can't sponsor every young person throughout the entirety of the Americas. Some of you all with money, you've done some really horrible things to youth. You should take this opportunity to sponsor some youth. Yeah. Do something good with all that money. Yeah. So, those who have a lot of money, you can sponsor more children. Now, here's what age range I'm thinking. Between 13 and 19. Yeah. They've got to be old enough to enjoy it. Yeah. See, somebody will say some 8-year-old. Okay, it would be fun to go to Paris if you're 8 years old. But you're not going to have that much fun. Really. I'm just being honest with you. 13 to 19 is a good age range. Yeah. And those are the type of youth that'll be most in trouble this summer if they don't go somewhere. Look, you all, I'm being serious. August, if those youth haven't gone anywhere by August, it's not going to be a good summer for our young people. You know it and I know it. So this gives them something to actually do, look forward to. And it's really, this might be one of the greatest cultural exchange programs that's ever existed. Yeah, you get a bunch of young people from El Salvador, Guatemala, Peru, Colombia, Texas, Florida, California, New York, New Jersey, Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, from Haiti, and you send them all to Paris to watch the Olympics? Wow. Yeah, that's a good idea. Now, somebody said, where would you get these young people from? Well, the schools, duh. Middle school, high school, So if they go to a school, you can nominate the youth that you want to send to Paris. So I would hope to have the schools involved with this too. The people, I've always thought this to be the case and true. Your teachers probably care more about the youth than their parents do. Yeah. I kid you not. Teachers, on the whole, probably care more about the youth than the parents. So we would need the teachers to try to sell this to the parents as well. The children are going to be on board with it. They're going to be like, wow, this is phenomenal. I get to meet people from all over the Americas. This might be the first time something like this has ever been done before. Yeah. Because usually, the very affluent and rich, they go to the Olympics. And everybody else is, just watching at home on the television. This would be ordinary, average children from all over the Americas. And you say we're going to need, chaperones. Look, I got just the folks who I think would make the perfect chaperones for your young people. Although some of you all are going to take issue with who I think would make the perfect chaperones, it doesn't bug me that you would, because I don't care. We'll outline that in the next one, but I just wanted to outline this initial idea. to get our youth from the Americas to Paris this summer for the Olympics. I think we can do it. Well, everything costs a lot of money. Yeah, there's nothing that's cheap nowadays. Go to a store and try to buy a Snicker bar. It's $10. So I don't want to hear about cost. That's to say I don't want to hear about cost because this is something for the youth. Yeah, this is priceless. Some people that I might name to be sponsors and chaperones, I might think they've done awful things. They might truly have done awful things. I might think that they're the greatest people on the planet Earth. They might truly be the greatest people on the planet Earth. I don't care. We just need sponsors to do something nice for these youth to get them to Paris. That's it. You all can do this one good deed and it'll go a long way this summer. I guarantee you. Those youth will come back and they'll be like, wow, that was the greatest experience of my life. I never experienced anything like it before. Yeah. They'll love you all forever. Yeah. You just give them this one thing. You say, what spawned this idea? Okay, that's a good question, so I'll answer it. I was somewhere, I'm not going to say where, and I was someone who was relatively young, 16, 17 years of age. And, at the very end, she was like, I really want to go to New York. Now I'm thinking to myself, well, people in New York don't even like New York. Yeah, let alone people outside of New York. But she wasn't from this country, so she didn't know anything about New York or the country. She's just heard, New York, the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps. Now, imagine that person who's a hard worker going all the way to Paris for the Olympics. What do you think that person would say if they got back? Yeah. So this is life-changing, what I'm talking about. Yeah. And then if you're a sponsor of one of these youth, and they have rave reviews about their experience in Paris, and you sponsored them, wow. You're going to be like, Jesus. Yeah. You're going to be a legend. Everybody's going to love you. And it's guaranteed 100% that they're going to have a good time. Guaranteed. The security is going to be maximum tight parents. It's the Olympics. So I doubt if your children will even get a scratch. Yeah. They're ready. Paris has been ready for this for a long time. So they're going to have maximum security. They're going to be sponsored and they're going to have great chaperones. Parents, what more do you need? Yeah, come on now. And plus they have cell phones. They can call you. Yeah, you can still get phone reception from Paris to the United States, from Paris to Canada, and from Paris to Mexico. Yeah. So, there's no excuses what I'm trying to say. This is something we need to do. We ought to do it and we need to do it. And it's something feasible that we can do. Schools are still in session so people can start talking about it now. That's why I brought it up in March. They would have said any old thing. Yeah, somebody that just wants to be a naysayer is going to say, you should have brought this up in January at the beginning of the year. Well, maybe I didn't have the idea at the beginning of the year. Maybe I'm bringing it up now because, well, this is the perfect time to bring it up. Yeah. I'm thinking about all the different excuses people are going to use to try to not do this. Yeah. Well, you say hotels might be booked out. That's a good one. Okay. In the eventuality that hotels are booked out, the sponsors who usually go to these type of things, the children can stay with a lot of them. Yeah. The sponsors are going to be responsible. I guarantee you. I think I've selected some great sponsors. You're going to have to be the judge of that. Yeah, you'll be the judge and jury of that. But I think I've selected some great sponsors. And here's the thing. Even if they're not great sponsors, you know what? I selected folks that I thought would be great. Yeah, that's all you can really do in life. Do what you think is going to be the right thing. Yeah, it might not always work out. So the sponsors that I've selected, I think are great. I think the world of them. Doesn't matter what you all think, really. Because, well, we'll leave it at that. Anyhow, the Olympics starts July 24, 2024. Now we've got enough time to get this rolling. What we need is really, well, we need the sponsors on board. That's first and foremost, because we need the money. Then we need to find the accommodations. Those are going to be the two hardest, most difficult things. The sponsors and the accommodation. Everything else is set, because we've got the youth. What young person do you think, if approached, hey, do you want to go to the Olympics this summer in Paris? What young person do you think is going to turn that down? Nobody. Nobody. So we got the people. We just need accommodations and sponsors. And because most of the sponsors like going to events like this, they might already be going in the first place. So it's perfect. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking of sponsors that are big. So like the Hilton, yeah, the hotel, the Hilton chain hotel. We might have somebody like Paris Hilton sponsor a whole bunch of youth in a whole bunch of different states across America. I think she would be perfect to be a sponsor for this. And then we could use the Hilton Hotel. Yeah. Okay. So see, this is not going to be, just any old thing. This is going to be a big thing if we can pull it off. And we've got enough time, and we've got the willpower to do it. Now we just got to do it. Yeah, I think we can pull it off. What do you think I knew somebody was going to ask me that question. So somebody said this might be human trafficking. You know what? It's voluntary. Meaning the children have to get their parents to consent to go. So if somebody wants to say, because I'm saying certain people and certain internet rumors and conspiracies exist, and this could be human trafficking because it's dealing with youth, that's them. I can't deal with that bullshit. If you want to sit and have your child sit at home when we think they can be in Paris because you want to believe some internet conspiracies, that's you. Other children will go. If I tell some children in Guatemala, hey, you want to go to Paris free of charge, and you're going to be staying in the Hilton, Paris Hilton is paying for it, you think they're going to decline? No. So if Americans want to be stupid, that's more children from Latin America, from Canada, from Haiti, okay? Your spot will get filled up quickly. Yeah, because most Americans are privileged anyway. Their parents could pay for them to go to Paris. Yeah, this is a favor, okay? So you got to roll with the whole cultural exchange part of it. That's a huge component of it. Because you're going to have many youth who don't even speak the same language, come from vastly different areas, geography-wise, neighborhoods, cities, towns, rural. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. They're like, oh, dude, I can't deal with those conspiracies. I can't. Because, we'll never do anything positive or productive again. Because some people have tarnished certain people's names who they don't even personally know. Because they read it on a Reddit forum. Yeah, I don't deal with that kind of shit. Yeah. So we'll roll out who the sponsors are going to be. And I personally would sponsor some youth. I know some wonderful, hard-working young people that if I told them, hey, I want to help you go to Paris and see the Olympics, they would bawl their eyes out and cry. Yeah, they'd be so happy. So I think this is a good opportunity. It gives the kids something productive, positive, and fun to do this summer. Yeah. Who doesn't want to go to Paris? I'll tell you a little story. When I was young, I went to Paris. It was enchanting, You never forget Paris. Yeah. It's the small things. It might not even be the Olympics. You go have a fresh croissant for the first time at a Parisian bakery. It's nothing like it. Yeah. No, they don't make croissants like that in Guatemala. So you'll have children that have never had a croissant before. Yeah, Honduras, they don't have croissants. Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah, some of the Honduran kids coming out of the Parisian bakery with croissants. Yeah. And they show, they might not have cell phones. Some of these kids might be so poor they don't have cell phones. But they might snap pictures and they'll be all over the world. This is going to go worldwide. Yeah. Yeah, this is big. If we can pull it off. I hope we can pull it off. Yeah. Yeah, this would be big. This would be huge. And it would finally be a treat that your youth deserve. I'll say this to parents. This is my plug for this one from the parental side of this. When you're a young person, you don't always want to listen to your parents. They tell you, clean your room, clean the bathroom, all of this. You got chores to do. Then you got to turn in your homework. You got to get good grades, or else your parents are going to be upset. If you don't get good grades, your parents are going to be upset. Yeah. Then you got your life. You got to make friends. You're losing friends. Maybe you're traveling. All kinds of things. Now this is one thing that's independent of your parents, because they're not necessarily proposing or doing this for you. This is one positive, life-changing thing, independent of your parents, that you could do for your children to make them really, really happy. Yeah. It's going to be a boost for everybody's mental health who's young. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking about this from so many different vantage points. Exactly. Mental health is going to decrease. At least the negative parts of it, yeah. I mean, if you're from, let's say you're from Venezuela, you're 15, 16, and now you're in Paris for the Olympics. Are you going to really be sad when you're in Paris for the Olympics? And maybe you were on the street somewhere in Venezuela just fleeing for your life? Yeah. Exactly. So this is going to be wonderful if we can pull it off. And I'm going to be like the negotiator, making sure that, yeah, I'm going to run a difficult and rough negotiation. Because I'm going to say, if you don't get this done, it's going to be ski masks and handguns. So I might have to threaten some folks in order to get it done. But it's okay. It's all for a good cause. Because I'm telling you, if we don't get our children to do something this summer, you're looking at probably one of the most violent summers in the history of the Americas. If our children don't have something to do this summer. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, it's going to be more than just carjacking. No. That's going to be mild. Our children have not had anything to do for the last 5 years. These past 5 summers, adults have not given children anything to do. Nothing. I've been here. I've watched it. That's why I'm so appalled at it. This is a damn disgrace what you all have done. The past 5 summers. Now, I could see the 3 directly after COVID. There's no reason why in 2022 they couldn't have had something for these young people to do. They were outside, the adults. They had nothing activity-wise for youth. 2023, there was nothing. Now, do you really think young people are going to go for 5 years not having anything to do these summers? No. The 5th year, they're going to snap if you give them nothing to do. It's perfect that there's the Olympics because that's the perfect venue. So you don't even have to create the activity. The activity already exists. You just need to sponsor them to get over there, and we'll have accommodations because the sponsors are going to have accommodations. The sponsors are not going to do anything inappropriate with your children. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I wouldn't select people that I thought would do that to your children. So people are like, oh, well, what did they? No. I don't want to give these folks any excuses as to why they shouldn't do this for their youth, for their children. I want no excuses. Yeah, none whatsoever. Exactly. And you have to cover all these bases because people will make excuses. People make excuses like you make lemonade. Yeah, it's not too many ingredients that you need to make an excuse. All you need to do is have your mind made up that you don't want to do something and you can pull shit out of your ass. That's how you make an excuse. At least a modern day one. Yeah, they'll say, oh, I read something on the internet that this person was on Epstein's island. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So everything you read is true? And what if they were hooked up and connected with Epstein? Let's talk about that for a moment. Why doesn't anybody ever talk about what Jeffrey Epstein did? Yeah, it's like he just ran an island, that's it. That's not how he made his money. Yeah, see, Americans, you're so ignorant that you just read headlines and that's it. You just form opinions off of headlines. The man worked to get money back from people who were very wealthy, who had lost money to scams. That's how he was connected with everyone in Hollywood. He worked with wealthy, affluent people in finance, in all different industries. It just wasn't Tinseltown. Yeah, it was financiers too. If people got swindled who made a lot of money, they would go to Epstein to try to track down how to get their money back. Yeah, that's what he did. That was his day job. Now, what he moonlighted and did on an island, that's him. Yeah, you don't know what people do 24/7. Yeah, you don't even know what your own siblings do. Yeah. Your husband doesn't know what your wife does. Your wife doesn't know what your husband does. Yeah. Are you there watching them 24/7? So they're like, oh, because they were with Jeffrey Epstein, they must have known. Really, you know everything that your acquaintances, your friends do? Really, is that how it works? I didn't know that was how it works. You know, people have these standards for people who are successful that they don't have for themselves. It's called jealousy and envy. And so I might pick people that are associated with that. Please, I don't care because I know what Jeffrey Epstein really did, okay? I don't care. You all didn't even know he worked with wealthy people to get their money back. I just had to tell you that's what he did. Yeah. Everybody thinks he just ran an island. Yeah. No. That's what he moonlighted and did in his spare time. And I guarantee you, he wasn't even probably the operator of the island. Yeah. He was probably just the plug guy. Exactly. Come on now. So you all, this is a great idea. It's Paris. It's the Olympics. And it's something memorable, unforgettable. Which one do you prefer, the summer or the winter Olympics? Ooh, that's a good question. I think I like the summer one better. I think there's more sports in the summertime Olympics than there are in the wintertime. Because wintertime you can only play so many things on snow and ice. Yeah, summertime you can do everything. Volleyball, basketball. You know one sport they should add to the Olympics? Racing, car racing. Yeah, I think they should be in the Olympics, the best car racers in the world. You know, everybody races cars all around the world. That's not just an American thing. You know, people just think, oh, American. No, people in Latin America do derby and car races too. Yeah, Canada too. Yeah. Africa, they do derby races, car races. Yeah, everybody loves cars and racing. I think that would be one of my suggestions for the Olympics, to add car racing in the summer. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do car racing in the wintertime. What if the roads get icy and you just like slide off the road? See, somebody said it can be a winter sport. You didn't even think that out. If the roads are icy, wouldn't the cars just slip and slide? That's why you have bobsleighing in the wintertime. Yeah, it's a bobsled. Yeah. Exactly, in the wintertime they do have some type of vehicle that moves fast, like bobsleigh. In the summertime they should have car racing. Yeah, that'd be a fun activity. Where do they race cars in the mud? You just answered your own question, I guess. Yeah, some jackass. You know, every country has cities with roads. The roads might not be well paved, but they have roads. So they race their cars on the roads just like you race yours on the road. See, that's it. I can't with people like that. Yeah, if there's cars somewhere, people race them. Because that's what you do in general with a car. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. The best car races in the world at the Olympics. Yeah. Yeah. You know how many medals Danica Patrick could have won at the Olympics? Quite a few. Yeah. She's a good car racer. Yeah. So you all, I'm going to summarize it this way. We would need to get the teachers on board with certain schools. Now the schools are having all kinds of problems. I'm not sure if you all are paying attention to what's going on at the schools. All this racism, yeah, homophobia. I'm not sure if you all are paying attention to this, but the kids are already acting out. Yeah. That's because there's lack of cultural exchange activities. Yeah, there's a lack. Even in the school. The school budgets have been cut everywhere. Yeah, even if teachers wanted to take their children on cultural exchange trips, you can't afford that shit anymore. Even at the good schools, they don't have that anymore. I remember you could go to Taiwan. Yeah, you could go to Egypt. They don't have that at the schools anymore. Yeah. Yeah. So this is really, and the schools can raise money too, like the classrooms. They can raise money for their students to send their students to go. Yeah. So that's why I'm doing this now. We've got, here's what we've got to do. Here's where we come into this, myself included. We've got to spread the word everywhere. Get this out. You know, they're talking about all this nonsense. Every day, the election. You all, we're in March. The election is in November. We have March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, then November. Yeah, so we've got other months to do things and other things in. We've got to spread the word and make this big. Blow this up. Simplify it. Simplify it. You want the kids from the Americas, we want them in Paris this summer. Simplify it. Yeah, make it where even dummies can understand. The American kids go to Paris. Yeah, all the kids from the Americas. Yeah, Latin America, Haiti, Canada. We're getting them to Paris. By hook or crook. That's how it's got to be. And that's going to be a wonderful thing because the parents are not going to have to deal with their children. So now the adults can be here. Yeah. Now you know your children are going to have fun, something enchanting, memorable. That's going to make you as a parent happy. Yeah, that your children are having fun. Yeah. That's going to be a wonderful thing. I'm telling you. Yeah, the accommodations are going to be tricky, but you know, that's why I said somebody like Paris Hilton. Because she's connected. She's got the Hilton hotels, yeah. And she would be a wonderful sponsor of a lot of youth. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great. Do you think the sponsors will say yes? I don't know whether they will or won't. That's a good question. I'm not gonna knock it. You know, sometimes I go off on folks when they ask questions. I'm not gonna knock that. That's a good question. I don't know is the answer. You know, the only way to find out whether somebody's gonna say yes or no is to ask. And so that's what I want you all to do. You can ask some of these sponsors that I tell you I think would make great sponsors. Would they be willing to do it? And they'll either say yes or no. Yeah. If they say no, move on to another sponsor. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of people who can sponsor. And some will say yes, some will say no. You know, you don't know what and don't get mad at the folks that say no. And I tell you why. Because you don't know what their schedule looks like. You know, I'm springing this on somebody right now. But they could have a whole tour and everything scheduled for the summer. They could say, I'm not going to even be able to be in Paris because I'm going to be in Singapore for the summer doing a concert. Sorry, I wish I could help you, but I can't do it. So I'm going to understand even if people say no, because I know other people have schedules. They're busy working adults. Yeah. So we'll have to have a lot of sponsors. And we can't just look for people in the entertainment sector. These rich men, these bankers, they should be sponsoring some children too in the Americas. Yeah, they should really be sponsoring some children to go and have a fun activity. Yeah. Don't even tell, I'm not even going to get into the reasons why. Yeah. They better start thinking about doing some positive things. Because they do a lot of stuff that can be perceived as negative. And this would be perceived as positive. So I would want to start doing positive things in 2024. That goes for all of you all. Yeah. I'd start wanting to do some positive stuff. Even if you've been a really, really negative person, I'd start thinking about maybe being positive for a change. Especially this year. I'm telling you. It could come in handy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, would Paris be able to handle all of these children coming in? You know, they get spectators from all over the world for the Olympics. So they already are expecting a huge influx of people. This would be on top of that influx, so I understand your point in that, but it's not like they're not expecting an influx to begin with. Yeah, they just have to make different preparation. We would have food. Somebody said, what about food costs? Well, we would work with, vendors. There's vendors that service the Olympics. We will work with those vendors to try to make sure that they feed the children. Look, come on now, you all. Would we get together some very wealthy sponsors to send your children all the way to Paris for the Olympics and then not feed them? Come on now. See, this is, I don't want to say it was a stupid question, but it's kind of like, why would we have them sponsor them to go all the way to Paris for the Olympics and then not introduce them to fine Parisian food? Yeah, I talked about the croissant. Maybe that person just came in. Yeah. Yeah, we would let them have the finest of the finest French food. Yeah, exactly. No, I wouldn't be hardcore on the vegan thing. No, 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 no. People can eat whatever they want to eat. I'm not going to be hardcore on that. Paris is a very health conscious city anyway. Yeah, they're very environmentally friendly. So if people preferred vegan, I'm not going to stress it though. I'm not going to be like, you have to eat vegan when you're here. No, 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 no. But there's plenty of vegan options in Paris. You can find vegan food. I think it would be nice if we introduced the young people to vegan food. That would be nice, but it's not mandatory. Yeah. Getting all of this is going to be a monumental feat to begin with. Yeah. Look, I'll say this about the religious community. If they want to chip in on this and do something productive and positive for a change, then they can. But I'm not going to rely on the religious community to do this. No. The churches can fundraise for their youth, yes. The mosques can fundraise for their youth, yes. The synagogues, yes. The temples, yeah, they can fundraise. But we're not going to rely on them. You say, why wouldn't we rely on them? Because they're unreliable, okay? They're not reliable. The people you all talk about, the worst, dragged through the mud, the worst, they are more reliable than all of your religious institutions combined, put together. Yeah. Taylor Swift, for example, because you all need examples, because you just say things and don't provide context. Okay, let me provide context for you. Taylor Swift, when she held the concert in San Francisco, she donated so much money to the San Francisco Food Bank that it's enough to provide food for the next 10 years. Yeah, the San Francisco Food Bank will have enough food to provide to the residents who require and need their services for the next 10 years. Yeah. Now, how many mega churches do you know of donate to food banks? I rest my case. And so I'm going to wrap up with this, you all. This would be a wonderful, productive thing for our youth. It would keep them out of trouble this summer. I fear that if they don't have anything productive and meaningful to do this summer, it will go down as one of the most violent summers in the history of the Americas. No, it's just not going to be the United States. It's going to be Canada. It's going to be Latin America. And you already see what the hell is happening in Haiti. We need to provide our youth with something memorable, something they'll never forget, something magical and enchanting. Yeah, and that's Paris. Paris changes lives. Yeah, it's the city of love. Don't our youth need more love? Because violence shows hatred. Bullying shows hatred. All across our schools, there's nothing but bullies now. Are you for bullying each other? Yeah, because you all, they're looking at you as adults tearing each other apart, so they're following suit. And then plus, they don't have anything to do. You all could have something to do, you just don't find anything to do. Now here it is, something ready, set, made. Yeah, it's like a microwave meal. All you gotta do is pop it in the microwave. You didn't have to plan the Olympics. It's already planned every 4 years. You don't have to set up a venue. There's already a venue. All you gotta do is provide some money to send some youth to have a magical and wonderful time. You can't do that for your youth? Yeah. You can't do this one thing? Because I ask your youth these questions. Have these adults ever done anything for you? And they always tell me no. Period. They always tell me no. They've never done anything for us. Yeah. So this is one thing you all can do this year for your youth that would be positive, productive, meaningful, fun. Yeah. They would remember this forever. For the rest of their life. They would be like, Jamie Dimon, he sent a whole bunch of children to Paris for the Olympics. Yeah. They will remember that forever. I'm telling you, they really will. You'd be like a hero. Now, if they can't do it, that's fine. But we're going to ask. And some people are going to say no. But I predict some people are going to say yes. They're going to be like, you know what? That's a good idea. Now, I'm not going to judge anyone. Because here's what you all would do. You would point to me about all the, inadequacies previous to this event. And I would be like, they might have had some inadequacies in their life prior to this. But this is what we're talking about. This is what we're focused on now. And this is positive. You can't knock somebody who's negative when they're trying to do something positive and say, you know what, they did something negative 15 years ago. Well, we're focused on 2024, not 15 years prior to 2024. But that's okay. If you want to live 15 years ago and not in the year we're in, that's fine. I'm going to be judging for what they're doing now, not 15 years ago. So that's to say, we don't care what you did, just as long as you haven't harmed children. We don't want people we know have harmed children involved in this. No, not at all. If we know you've harmed children, you can send money, but send it anonymously. That way we don't have to tell the children that, you can do something nice, but anonymously. Yeah, it's fine to do it anonymously. You can cut a check anonymously. We'll take the money. Yeah, but we don't want you involved as being a chaperone or a sponsor. No. We got to make sure that, our youth are safe. That's going to be the most salient selling point, that they're going to be safe and have fun. Safety and fun is paramount. Yeah. Exactly. And when they come back, oh my goodness. Can you imagine how productive they're going to be when they come back to their countries, their cities, their communities where they live? They're going to be like, Paris was so fun. I got to meet so many different people, experience so many different things. Now they're going to want to do things in their own community. They're going to have different experiences, different environments to draw from. Yeah. Now you're talking about having a whole bunch of creative people when they come back to their community, do creative things for their community. Yeah. So this is a win for all the countries who are involved in it too. Because your children are going to be the future. Yeah. You want productive, positive starting vantage points at the very beginning. So I don't see who could argue with this. You can find somebody that hates everything. Yeah, they'll say something weird like, look at the message and who it's coming from. But I don't care. As long as the message is good and the folks who are going to benefit, are the folks that need to benefit the most, are you. That's all that matters to me. It's a win. Yeah. So you all tell me what you think about this. We're going to send the kids from all across the Americas to Paris this summer. Yeah. Yes, we can do it. Yeah, we can do it. Hey, if it gets really big, like I'm talking about, that's a good question. What's an end cutoff number? Because you could talk about millions. I would say maybe something like 3 million. So a good range of youth from all different countries in the Americas. About 3 million. Now, does Paris have enough space for 3 million young people from all across the Americas and plus the folks who were already planning to come? No guarantee. But they would have to. And think about the economic revenue that would generate for Paris. Yeah. As more money is coming in, you have more problems, but you're going to make more money, that's a good problem to have. Yeah. You would probably have to talk with the French president at that point. It would probably get to him. He'd probably have to say, we're going to build maybe a stadium to accommodate all of these youth. I think it would be wonderful, and they could get to meet all the different, think about that. They would get to meet all these different athletes from all over the world. Sign different things, autograph, baseball caps. They could come back to some poor little community and be like, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. I don't know who's an Olympian. I really don't. I don't follow these things that closely. Sue Bird, somebody says she might be an Olympian. I don't know. The point is, they could come back with some type of memorabilia from some big soccer star or something like that. And they come back to their little neighborhood. Yeah. They're going to be like the king of the neighborhood, queen of the neighborhood. Exactly. Yeah. So this is a good idea. I think we can get it rolling. We're going to do this more in March. I'll have to ramp up in April. By May, I'm going to have to put a foot up some people's asses. Because you send something out. This is how this works. You'll send something out. Be like, are you interested in doing this? What are your thoughts about this? It's not the weirdest thing ever, but people act as though they didn't see what you sent out. They don't respond to it. Now, here's the thing. I'm hoping people take something that a lot of times I very seldom see in the society anymore. It's called initiative. You don't need to contact me. Reach out to me. If you want to sponsor some youth in your community or in another country, reach out to a school. Reach out to a teacher. And just say you want to sponsor some youth to go to Paris. Yeah. Take the initiative. Exactly. So once an idea, and this is for all of you young people that don't know how idea generation really works. Once an idea is out there, somebody can mold and shape it to be what they want it to be. Yeah. They can take the initiative and create something totally different out of it. And as long as it works for them and the youth and the ultimate overall goal, that's fine with me. Perfect. I love it. Yeah. So I hope that the sponsors, even if they don't hear their name being called, people can volunteer as tribute. Say, that's a good idea. I want to sponsor some youth. And I don't care if they're conservative or liberal. Yeah, that doesn't make a difference to me. As long as it's beneficial for the youth to get them to Paris, that's fine. It can be a bipartisan endeavor. Imagine that. Yeah, something bipartisan that has nothing to do with politics. Yeah. Yeah, this has nothing to do with the election. Absolutely. Because you know they'll try to make everything about the election. If you sneeze a certain way, they'll say you said Biden, you said Trump. So this has nothing to do with the election. This has to do with, yeah, in July getting our children to Paris. Exactly. 3 million children is too many to come to Paris. The number would have to be lower. Well, that's for the government to determine of France. I just said that number. I just shot that off the top of my head. We might not get 3 million applicants. Yeah, I just shot that off the top of my head, the max figure. I'm not saying that's the number. That's the ultimate number. No, I just shot that off the top of my head. 3 million. Yeah, 1,000,005, whatever. It doesn't really matter too much about the number so much per se. I do want it to be a large amount of youth because I want it to have a large amount of impact throughout the Americas. Yeah. So with the more youth, that means the bigger the impact. Because somebody didn't understand why I said 3 million. That seemed like a large number to them. The bigger the number, the bigger the impact. Yeah, if we could get all the youth out of the Americas and into Paris, I would do that. Because I really do think you all, this summer is going to be awful if they don't go anywhere. I haven't heard any activities they're planning for the summer. You know, it's completely ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. And then grown ass adults have the nerve to be talking about why are you for acting up outside. You're not providing them anything to do. Who hasn't heard the old saying, an idle mind is the devil's playground? Yeah, exactly. They're not providing these youth with anything to do. I'm the only one. You know what? That's crazy, but it's true. I'm the only one talking about these kind of topics. Yeah. I'm the only one. It's like nobody else sees that the youth are completely bored, suffering with severe depression and anxiety. Mental health is skyrocketing. Crime is all out off the chart with them. Yeah, all the people that's really committing crime are young people. Yeah. Have If you look at the statistics, see, you gotta look closely. You just look at the headline. Most of the people committing petty crime out here, and depending on what you consider petty, because they would say carjacking now is petty. Yeah, most of the people committing those type of crimes are teenagers. Absolutely. So, yeah, we're not giving them anything to do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hear parents complaining about their young girls, walking the street at night. They don't know if they're, doing things like that. Are you giving your young lady something to do? This would actually give them something to do in Paris. Yeah. So I'm providing, opportunity. Yeah. Yeah. I'm providing something. This is a grand and great opportunity. Yeah, Paris is the perfect place to go for the summertime too. Absolutely. Summertime in Paris is perfect. Oh yeah. So the venue is perfect. The activity is perfect. The participants want to come. Oftentimes the big thing with youth is oftentimes it's the struggle to make them want to do something. Generally they're like, nah, I don't want to do that. That's boring. You tell these kids you're gonna take them to Paris this summer, for the Olympics, child, they're gonna go bananas about that. I'm telling you. So that's the plan, you all. Let's make it happen. And Yeah, that's it.